And we're back from the break. Cool. So, um, yes. We just so we have people scrambling to build this assorted machines and get everything running and working and all that jazz. Meanwhile, yeah. So Dr. Harper, Hurley, Midnight, and Tudor, you're all in this room with these creepy bodies suspended in these vats. What do you do?
Didn't Midnight trigger something?
She just kind of it just sort of put that memory in her brain. Um, and then yeah, like you kind of are all there, just sort of looking around at each other with this freaky, ungodly machine thing, um, in front of you. What
Hmm.
do you do?
Is there
Like,
any like kind of computer or interface in the room, or is it just all these test tubes?
yeah, there would be. Oh yeah, and also yeah, you see this subject too that looks weirdly like Midnight, like maybe a sister or a cousin. Um,
So I kind of push the guy over towards the computer while being like, Midnight, what do you reckon about that? Looks kind of like you.
Don't even fucking talk to me about that shit. I'm dealing with that shit in my head, alright? I don't need to talk to you about it. You're not my fucking therapist!
Sure. That's not meant to be supervisor.
Um, Midnight apparently brought back the word therapist from when she was a superpowered CEO. Because, again, things that don't exist. Um, cool. So, yeah, what do you do? And reaction. I don't give a shit. Yeah, I
Right.
think Harper kind of looks at you, looks at the tube, looks at you, and Hurley kind of gets his feet and, like, they're not supposed to be in here.
Oi, big man, what you know about what you look about Freaky Friday going on over here?
He kind
Because wrong references are fun.
of. He
Yeah,
gives you a.
references to things that don't exist are also fun, so.
Existed. He gives you a look. So I don't know why she looks the same. We're sisters. I don't care. I did my job. Threw her in the tube. And after the dot was done with her.
Oh, can you do me a favor and go get the brains of the operation? We need to ask some questions.
You told us he's dead.
Oh, God. So, what's her face? Bossy Boots doesn't know what's going on.
Harper kind of goes. It's um. It was designed to channel psychic energy into a person, make them as modeled on the creature existing within the storm.
What creature existing in the storm? Is this related to Empire?
You refer to it as Empire.
So you've been trying to channel Empire into these bodies, and while they're alive, that hasn't worked because there is no psychic energy here.
Recreate the effect, and there's no psychic energy in them. Yeah, I think if you look at like it's in there circulating. The idea is a sufficiently powerful psychic would activate it and pour the energy into a host body. The intention was after Dr. Tessier had perfected his physical perfection in through the frostbite virus that he would draw this power into himself and become something even greater.
So they're kind of psychic puppets, then? Or would they become their own entities? Would they be an extension of the entity that pumps them full of
I think
power?
that Hurley at this point goes in. Think of it like a battery, mate.
Oh,
He
right.
like flicks the glass of one of the tubes. Double A, made right here, just like Mum used to make. And Harper kind of gives him a filthy look.
So Harper, would you say that these guys function as psychic batteries, as your assistants, as your associates so eloquently put it?
It's an apt metaphor, yes.
Have you managed to get any of them to work?
We lack a few steps, and the process of building a body that could handle all this power wasn't completed by other researchers. That was the point of the Frostbite project. Your friend Lux has reached the highest stages of that we've yet seen.
So you're saying Lux would somehow... You would use the virus that's in Lux on one of these bodies, then fill it with psychic power?
use the virus on a host. The host would be then filled with the psychic power we've stored from these batteries.
Oh,
The
right,
idea was
okay.
Dr. Tessio perfect the virus, infect himself, become this alpha as you refer to it, the prime subject as we do, stand under that. But we lacked certain components, a sufficiently powerful psychic to activate it from the other side, also assorted other difficulties in the technology. It's unfinished. It acts as a psychic waypoint for the frostbite subjects, though. It's hard coded within them. And
So what else do you need other than a sufficiently powerful psychic? So could we, like, power Lux up?
He kind of gives you a look. It's an untested process, and you say. Did you say something, Chip? You're muted. Okay, sorry. Yeah. So he kind of like pauses. I don't know, honestly. It's a machine we don't even understand yet. We're trying to create a god here. It's not something that's a commonly documented pursuit.
I see your point. So, has this subject... What link to Midnight does it have? Because it looks exactly like her. You must have some kind of case files or some.
Yeah, he goes over and he
evidence.
opens up. Yeah, I guess it's like opens a computer and no, actually, he pulls like a big ring binder. It's Subject 02. And opens it. And yeah, there's a picture of this woman looking normal. And yeah, a name. That's yeah, the name is Rachel.
Oh, she's back again.
I didn't say back again. Just found the husk. Yeah, and it's like powers included. Like it gives a description of like rare psychic abilities she exhibited, such as like rapid regeneration, like forced. Like they describe it in long terms, and then like it's like forced body usage and like overclocking is basic. Forced muscle overuse and rapid regeneration like combines to give superhuman strength. Da, da, da. And like yeah, documents all these things that you like. Oh, yeah.
That
it's like,
explains it.
there's a bit about how it looks like her abilities may have attempted to apply it towards healing in some descriptions, like that if she could extend the regeneration beyond her own body, but tests were inconclusive. So, yeah, and like I think it lists like into the 30s experiments that were done upon her, testing her assorted powers, limits of her human body, and then it's like, yeah, she died briefly on the operating table, was hooked up to this machine, and they refer to it as inoculated. Yeah, basically her soul never came back.
Yep, we know where her soul ended up.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a thing, it's like, strange psychic signals, were recorded, at the time of her death. Yeah. No root cause has been found, further investigation is required. That's kind of the end of her file, and nothing is listed under the further investigational findings. So yeah.
So you want to find out? You want to know what happened to Rachel, then, science man?
And it gives you a look, like, Subject 2, she died 4 years ago.
If it would be so simple.
How much did you meet Rachel, actually? I guess you've probably been told at some point by
Been
one,
told.
at least a person. It's like, yeah, so...
I mean, I'm probably not the best person to ask this, but at midnight over there, she had some run-ins with Rachel. I would go so far as to call it possession.
Bitch
From what
tried
I've
to
been told.
fucking be me.
He kind of looks towards you and goes, that would make some sense with our current understanding of psychic theory, why you're drawn to her body. He kind of, every time, by the way, that you experience any kind of high-running emotion of any description, by the way, someone notices one of your tattoos moving in some way, like a flower rustling in wind that doesn't exist, or an animal, like, either grazing, or eating, or roaring, or bleating, or whatever, and, like, they kind of correspond to, like, when she's angry, like, maybe like a wolf's head or something across here, like goes to howl or whatever. That kind of stuff. It's always a little bit creepy. Kind of cool, though. Yeah. Which I definitely think happens at that point. Yeah. You can easily, like, I honestly don't know. Kind of, yeah, he's like, the machine is what it is. I don't believe it can be, I don't believe it's in a usable state at the moment.
Right.
Do you want to have a closer look at, like, the main core of it?
Have any of the test patients expired?
He kind of, like, all of the people in these tubes are half dead. Like, they died, they're so...
And so they're all like Rachel?
Yeah, well, the theory is they're... When you said this, that we didn't record any similar energy spikes when any of the other people died on in experiments.
So Rachel is the only one that transcended her physical shell. Is that what you're trying to say? If I was to hazard a guess. Right.
But
So I guess I'll inspect the main core then.
Okay.
See
Yeah.
if I notice anything with my incredible knowledge of these things.
Yeah, you can definitely feel psychic power humming from it. I'll give you a hint. I think it's one of the few. You should read through what augury can do for you. Because while you may not like it's a large source of energy, and I don't think necessarily Tudor's like, I probably can't just eat that.
What do you mean? What?
Well, like, you couldn't just take it in. Like, there's a reason why he wanted to do this physical perfection nonsense first. Like, it's building a body capable of taking what is essentially another nuclear reactor of psychic power.
What, so you mean reach through it and connect to it?
Oh, I was going to say more the isolate and contain.
But it's already isolated and contained.
Well, it's a pretty big-ass machine, whereas you could try and, like, pull it out and go, okay. Just take all this psychic power with you.
Really? And store it where?
I don't know. Depends how you pull it out. It's all about...
Oh. Okay. That's interesting. I didn't know that power worked like that.
Yeah, it's isolate and contain a fragment of the psychic maelstrom. Like, this is definitely a thing of the psychic maelstrom.
So I guess now I'm going to try to use augury, and you're going to -2 me. Is that where this is going?
No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying that is definitely a thing that crosses Tu's mind of, like, you might not be able to absorb it, but you might be able to, like... Their method of storage is a little... I think the science of it all is like, meh, whatever. And just pull it out and put it in a nice ball.
Okay, I'm going to try and do that then. I'm going to try and isolate the energy.
Yeah, I will tell you I will hit you with that interfere before you roll.
Oh my god. This is when
this is
everything
definitely
goes
going
wrong.
to be the hardest weird roll you're going to make in here. So that brings that down to a 9. But you only really need stable and contain, no bleeding.
True.
Yeah. You'll have to constantly maintain it, so...
But it's going to vastly increase my psychic reserve by having...
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to consume psychic reserve to maintain a bigger pool of psychic reserve.
Yes, it's not necessarily immediately accessible, because if you, like, try to tap it, it might be like hooking yourself up to a 9 volt, to a car battery.
Oh no, I'm not turning it into a ball. I'm turning it into a sword.
Okay, yeah. So does this have like a physical like realm existence? Then is that, or is it only within your like massive gothic castle?
No, I've channeled it. Knife I have from Rourke,
Okay.
and I will find a picture of what I've decided it's going to look like. So
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
give me some time to look at funny pictures.
Okay. So yeah, I think this happens, and yeah, you're kind of constantly focusing. We see you return to the canteen and sit down with this like knife in front of you that is slowly like glowing and changing shape. Like you just see this like very focused, intense expression on Shooter's face. And yeah, all of you, if you walk past it, can hear this weird singing coming from this sword or knife thing. Yeah, and we'll kind of tick over. So it takes like about 24 hours pass. The
Oh, how very convenient.
vehicles get like converted. There's going So I think time is passing. All of you realize you're fucking bone dead tired because you've not slept in what, like 36 hours?
I know the car people. We scheduled in sleep time.
Fair, fair.
It was 18 hours plus 6 for sleeping. I know
Yeah.
my D&D rules. That's 6 hours. That's all I need.
That's fair. No, yeah, you know those. Yeah. 'Cause I think it kind of comes time to leave, and Stein has just grabbed like 2 hours, slumped up against the side of the garage. I think he's like you come in, and he's like sleeping against the wheel arch in the McCramobile. Which
Always
looks.
check your wheel arches before you drive off in the winter, people. You never know when you're going to run over a Stein.
Yeah, and you can see like some definite changes to the bodywork in the McCramobile have been done. Lux, it looks it's a bit. I don't know exactly what you can. It just you could feel it kind of like humming a little bit underneath the touch. It just like the exhaust is maybe different. I think the exhaust is gone. Like there's just no exhaust on the machine anymore. It's like what? Huh? Like the bonnet has been replaced with the bonnet of like one of the snow camo bonnets, and then the spikes like haphazardly stuck back on top of it.
Would
Tell
you
me what you
say
think about me.
it looks cooler now?
Are you trying to raise the look of it? Yeah, sure.
No.
Yeah, sure. It looks way more. You've got half sleek, half badass, like badass Mad Max vehicle.
Cool.
And
I love power gaming.
You can have another look, which
Bimba,
you use so often.
I
Hi.
chose what my thing looked like. It's
Oh,
in the
God.
Skype chat if you could move it to like so the stream can see it.
You despair, it's horrible.
Oh, fab.
I couldn't resist.
You should though.
So I'm just
But I
gonna
can-
say this one. If anyone in the audience has ever watched Once Upon a Time, you can look up Once Upon a Time: The Dark One's Dagger in Google. I recommend you don't watch Once Upon a Time, to be honest, because no.
Yeah, this is from 3 people that have watched too much of this show. Don't watch the show.
I refuse to carry on watching the latest series because I just don't have the energy or the time to waste watching a whole other effing season of Once Upon a fucking Time.
We've
I
talked
have
about the
Not
show
watched
a lot.
that show.
We
so
spend the
I'm happy.
majority of a day talking
Yeah.
about Once Upon a
So
Time.
let's move along, because this is a show about role-playing games. I also realised I did not in any way track what time we started this section, so I'm just going to take a guess. Cool. So... Yeah. I think you come in there and Stein is just, like, passed out next to that. A few of the gorillas are, like, hunkered over in what is probably the closest thing they get to sleep. Dr. Harper, Hurley, and the female doctor, who still hasn't introduced herself to anyone, are all standing like over on the side, kind of looking varying shades of impressed, with the female doctor at the lowest shade of just like it's grudging, and it's just about like, fine, you're better than I thought.
See? Science guy. He's good, right?
And yeah, in like the center of the room, kind of. So you've got like their two cars, the McCrane-mobile, and then Nylock and all of his men, and then all of their cars. And they're kind of like looking at you. So, pick your next words carefully. I think the three of you turn up together and kind of like we see Stein like look up. I think we need to have a discussion.
Who wants to discuss what with me?
Well, I think they're looking at like mainly Tudor and Lux.
No,
Hey, guys.
Stein
Yeah,
says.
yeah.
Who wants to discuss
Yeah,
what with me, and
Nylock
he's not
Nylock
even
is Nylock is just staring directly at Lux. I think it's like Harper. No, sorry, Harper Hurley just kind of like picks himself up slightly and looks like slightly more on edge.
So we do now have a way to get in the storm. That doesn't necessarily mean we should go in, but we have a way in.
No. I did not just stay in here for 24 straight fucking hours.
No.
He was ready to go. for us not to go.
Stein, hear me out. Hear me out here. Let me finish. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna be smart about this. We're gonna go in slow. We're gonna do recon. We're gonna see what there is that we're up against.
Oh.
And at every point, we're gonna send scouts and be ready to retreat at any point.
Stein, take up one more harm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
That's what you want to hear.
3 now.
So you're at 9 harm, aren't you?
Yeah. No harm. Because you said to reflect 2 harm, put 2 ticks in.
Yeah.
If you go down to holds, I wrote down 2 harm sessions 9, and you said at the start of this session I hadn't gained any more.
Yeah,
so,
no, you haven't healed at all, I'm afraid.
Yeah,
Tudor
so I'm
heal.
not-
Yeah, no. It's 3, 6, 9. They're each one is 1 harm. The way they do it is it's a clock face
Yeah.
is how you measure it. So 3 segments
Yeah,
of harm
well-
is 9 o'clock on harm.
Yes, I know, but I ticked 3 and 6 when you said I was on 2 harm.
Yeah. I'm just counting
Yeah.
boxes as opposed to
Yeah,
times.
so
But you are currently on 3 harm, which is 3 segments, which is 9 o'clock on the harm clock, which is how it's measured. Trust me.
Right, that's cool.
Also,
I've
important thing to note
got
for
it down.
you and also for everyone else. If at any point you tick above, you take an instance of damage that would take you above 9 harm.
Oh yes.
You can instead note down a disability and not raise your harm.
Yeah.
So that's like if you get scarred, or so you basically take a
Shattered,
permanent
crippled,
-1
disfigured,
hot or
or
-1
broken.
hard or -1 sharp instead of taking the damage.
Yes.
That is a thing.
It brings you back to 9 harm and stabilizes you, whereas
Yes.
going above 9 harm is
So
bad
technically,
day.
if you think you're going to be like ticking up, you could go all the way to 11 and then take it back down to 9 and take a ability. I think.
Yeah. It would permanently like scar one of your stats. The only one that you cannot lower through this, interestingly, is you cannot lower your weird.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Yeah. But just thought I'd remind
Yeah.
everyone of that rule.
That's fine. Thank you kindly.
Because I was like, I'm going into a big fight. I need to prepare by reading all of the rules.
Sounds about right.
But yeah, so yeah, are you okay with doing recon?
I'm not okay with going anywhere near that storm. Thing you said lived in there killed a town, Lux. A town.
Killed a town that was susceptible to psychic weirdness.
Which, as far as I can tell, cat ears, squirmy tattoos, eyes made of dead stuff, and a black ring around his head. Whatever the fuck's wrong with him, pointing at Stein. It doesn't seem like you're particularly resistant.
You have a very solid point, which is why we're going to go in slowly and see how we go.
How about this idea instead? We go in the opposite direction. Allow me to make
Yeah.
this more clear. At this point, like, all of his men point their guns at basically in your direction. There's not that many of your guerrillas in here, I don't think.
No.
It's because only maybe like 4. Yeah, like a few of them point like you could see like heavy duty weapons at those things, like a grenade tube, and then they're like Hurley and that lot are all like whoa, 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 in the corner of the room, and it's like you can all come with me willingly, and by which I mean I'm splitting you each to a car, or we can gun down. Well, you'll probably survive a few bullets, it seems, Lux. These three I don't really care about. Seems that they're nothing but trouble.
Yeah, Stein at this point stands up. He's putting his hands up.
Yeah, I think like
just-
there's a person standing next to you who's like he's giving you very much like do not move. So
Yeah, Stein stands up anyway. He's got his hands by his head, just like, look, let's not explode over this. Well, that's actually a fitting choice of words.
Yeah, I know.
Have guns. But I'm pretty sure these guys know that the thing that caused that first explosion, that kickstarted all of this, is in the boot of this supercar. If you shoot any of us, you all die as well. So you can die here, you can run off like the bitches you are, or you can come with us. But killing us all is not going to happen.
aggro. Actually, so how I'm aware of your specific card you're trying to play here, but it's
It's not. No. It's
it's
the
not
same.
designed
It's
for
not the
this.
same. It's not
So
the
this
same.
is a manipulate.
No. Finbar.
Yeah.
This is not the same one.
Yeah,
Okay?
but like
What I
yeah.
discussed with you earlier. is
Yeah.
not the same.
Okay, so you have no real. You don't
It's a
actually
bluff.
have the stones
It's a
to back
bluff.
this up. So this is a bluff. So
Yeah,
give me a
it's a
manipulate.
Ooh, if I manipulate, I'm rolling weird anyway, so that's fine.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh,
Can I
why?
assist? Can I assist?
Why?
Absolutely, absolutely, you can.
Actually, someone else should probably assist, but given what I'm talking, it should be me.
Well, I mean, anyone can jump in. That just depends what they say.
Yeah.
So who
Please
wants?
help? Take your clothes off. Help.
So who says what to Stein's defense, or does anyone say anything in Stein's defense?
I'm definitely going like, we're fucking crazy. We'll do it. I think I'm almost assisting without saying anything based on having
Yeah.
a gun to my head. But
The ears like flattening inside of your head. We see like your neck muscles constrict and stuff like that. Yeah. Roll your hex with Stein.
which is +0, but no one else is saying anything. So
Can't Lex roll her HX with my HX with her?
Nope.
Damn it.
Not how this game works.
Yes, partial success.
So you expose yourself to danger.
Yes.
But the
So yeah,
killer
I think I just
succeeds.
give him the look. It's just been like, yeah, no, we're all that fucking crazy.
How does someone expose themselves to danger in this situation where like any danger happening will cause bad shit?
Warning shot.
okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
Can I?
I imagine with
Okay, can I make an impassioned speech to basically steal his gang out from underneath him?
can't I just use frenzy?
Frenzy.
I think yeah. The thing is that you kind of sink into slight feral level. Definitely, like it's the tensions in the room are rising. Your weird, like physical senses perceiving emotional stuff is like pushing you towards like I want to fight some shit.
That's fair.
Yeah. I'm trying to think how. Okay, I'll let shoot because you've both made a move. So Tudor, I think it's either definitely Tudor or Midnight's turn to step forward, like a few guns lower. But yeah, he would need a concrete assurance of the promise anyway, which you don't have a concrete assurance of this promise.
Can't Tudor just use his brain whisper to get?
Well, I think basically you buy yourself a pause, and we'll give Tudor a chance to do something.
Cool.
Can I just use frenzy? By any chance? Does this count as a mob?
I mean, what I want to know what you say. There's definitely enough people in here to be a mob. I just want to know what you say or do. It's like because there's a bunch of ways you can just be like, I weird the fuck out of all of these people, or it's like you try and convince Nylock, or you try and threaten Nylock. Yeah.
Okay. Shooter, where am I in the room at this point? Am I still sitting at the table?
No, you guys have all walked into the garage. Like,
All
Lux, Tudor, and Midnight, you're all standing kind of together, having just walked in. Stein kind of stood up from next to the wheel arch, and there's just a lot of men with guns on the other end of the room.
Okay, I'm gonna take one step forward and be like, guys, let's be serious now. You have guns. Do you really think that's gonna provide you with much help in this situation? I mean, you may be able to get a shot off. You might not. Stein may set off his bomb. I may throw you all through a portal into the wasteland anyway. It's a question of reactions, and do you really trust how quick you can ask me, how quick I can react? And anyway, don't you think it'd be far more reasonable that if you guys just come with us and, you know, try and save the planet and solve what's clearly caused this snow-ridden wasteland and give some chance to whatever is left in this godforsaken world instead of the slow, pitiful death that we're all going to suffer?
Okay.
Because obviously New Gothic Tudor is, instead of uplifting, is just depressing.
Seems reasonable. You appeal to more base emotions rather than dignity and pride. You're like, no, fear. Fear and rage.
This is happening. You have no escape.
Alright, so yeah, you're going for frenzy to try and, like,
Yup.
psychically manipulate these people.
Boom. Are they all my bitches now?
That's 2 double sixes in a row you've rolled?
This
No,
man
not quite.
No, he had one in the middle.
roll bad, yeah.
It's a shame I wasn't just rolling a straight and manipulate,
Yeah, if you just tried to
because they'd
manipulate
now be
Nylock.
my gang.
Yeah,
right?
no, you would manipulate has to be targeted, but you could do that to Nylock and be like, yo. And you could turn Lux's dad into, like, your bitch. Which, I mean, there's going to be some interesting...
That'd
Yeah,
be all
so...
kinds of fun.
So this is targeted at Nylock's gang. When you speak the truth to a mob, you roll plus weird. On top plus you hold 3. So you can spend your hold 1 for 1 to make the mob bring people forward and deliver them, bring forward all their precious things, unite and fight for you as a gang, fall into an orgy of uninhibited emotion, or go quietly back to their lives.
I'm
So you
going
have-
to get them to bring forward all their weapons and dump them at our feet, because they're their precious things. And their car keys.
Yeah, no, yeah, like, so just all of them stop. And I think literally the first one walks forward and is Nylock, and, like, he's walking forward with his gun still, he just strides forward. And I think Lux is, like, ready to jump, and he just puts safety on, drops it in front of you, pulls out the car keys and drops it in front of you, and then the rest just all follow through. Yeah. Good job.
I just turn to the guys and just be like, so, what do you think we should do now? I've
Well-
diffused the situation.
Yeah.
Like I
This episode
said,
is-
we go in and we do some recon, and yeah, I think we should probably leave these guys here. Given that, as much as they like, I appreciate what you just did there, Tudor. I'm not entirely okay with you mind controlling my dad.
Oh no, we're not going to force them to come into the snow wasteland against their will. That would be crazy.
Good,
just
good.
make
I
it
just
the better bit.
thought I'd double check that wasn't what you were doing here.
No, I was just diffusing the immediate chance of us all being filled with little tiny bullet holes.
Okay,
Because,
good.
like I said, I'm not sure how quick I am.
Let's leave them here and go.
Anyone want a new gun?
I
you-
already have every single gun.
Yeah, no, you there is no...
You know what? I wouldn't mind actually picking up a gun because I only
Yeah.
have a hunting rifle in terms of, well, I have knives, but I don't have a good long range weapon bar my hunting rifle. So
Yeah, there's like there's some assault rifles, but yeah, the back of Lux's truck has kind of any non-ridiculous weapon you can imagine. Yeah, cool. So yeah, you kind of weave the McCrane-mobile out through this kind of like crowd of zombified people. And your like gorillas kind of get up and just plod along after you. And yeah, the 4 of you are outside. Just what, Tudor? As you're leaving, do you do anything to them? Like, you have 2 hold to spend, or do you just kind of leave them there?
Oh, I get them to go quietly back to their lives.
Okay. I'll work out how that works.
Yeah.
soon. In your absence. Okay.
Mhm.
Cool. Yeah, so you get in the car, and yeah, it's you're driving on your big gorilla's lumbering with you. The Macromobile like feels like it accelerates way faster. It handles better. It's just generally more responsive and it's silent.
Are you saying it's not as sloppy anymore?
No, it still has that weakness.
Damn it!
Yeah, it's still
silent.
still
How the fuck can it be sloppy?
Well, like sorry. So it feels way faster. I forgot this tag. It feels way faster. The engine is silent.
Oh, the engine is silent. Okay, that's fine. I'm fine
But
with
if this is pimps to being
That's-
weather
that's less
immune,
one weakness.
how can any of the craftsmanship be sloppy at this point?
No, I mean sloppy driving, but it's no longer
Steering.
loud. It's no longer loud. That's important.
Okay, so
I
everything
think
is
it's-
incredible
yeah.
about this car apart from its steering, which for some reason is still a bit dodgy.
Well, yeah, because it didn't replace that bit.
So,
Just-
So everyone
Yeah.
just looks at Stein at this point and goes, "So you pimped this thing without a range of charge? You didn't think to fix the fucking
mean,
steering
he
that you've been
pimped-
complaining about for years."
He pimped 10 cars in the space of like 18 hours, and you didn't
24
bring
hours.
9 of them.
No, 24 hours.
Yeah, you didn't even bring 9 of them with you.
You guys are dicks. And while we're on the subject, yes, be careful with this car. I have put possibly the most valuable thing I have in it to make it run as smoothly and efficiently as we can to get us to where we need to go.
Lux is full on like hand on shoulders, like thank you.
It's
Oh yeah, Finbar.
It's
Hi.
amazing.
It's a question of comparability. How does my dagger compare to his energy source? I assume it's
Um,
going to be like weaker. I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's the
For a
difference
start.
between like his is just a giant battery that he jacked into his brain. Yours is a different kind of deal. Like yours is like the souls of a bunch of people circled around. So like yours doesn't function like you can't plug it into a thing and make it go faster. But yours might like harm a god.
Okay, cool. Fine.
Like you may have made a weapon that can actually like hurt Empire. That's physical in some respects, or you can like tap it for crazy psychic bollocks. Use it to get like. I think there's an element that you're considering of like Empire is supposedly the creature that made you, and every element. While you are a powerful being, like you're not. The power you have is only like just how you've matured into what it gave you. So you need something to even the playing field when you're going, because it's presumably still stronger than you are. Especially considering it like stole all of the souls of everyone in town. It's it's got some junk in the trunk.
But I've got the best ones.
Yeah, you've got superior souls, so you might have a fighting chance. But like, yeah, this is almost your fictional way of I can stand on the same playing field. Hopefully. Yeah. So yeah, you. I think we follow the car up until there's this looming in the distance, this giant wall of white whirling snow.
I think we probably head. Like I do still have the map
Yep.
of the storm.
Yep. I
I
entirely think you would have brought that with you.
yeah, no, I definitely would have done. So I think we're kind of heading for places we know, like things are at, as like. So I think
Yeah.
probably do a recce to the hospital.
Yeah, cool. No, you guys are fine in the Macromobile getting there.
Cool.
Um,
Yeah, so I think it's the hospital's presumably in zone 1 of 3. As you described it earlier, there's like the 3 zones.
yeah, this would be in the outer one. This is
Yeah.
like the first the first third is definitely the only place anyone has ever reached before. As soon as you like even then they don't go far into it. As soon as you get into that second ring, you're going where men fear to tread. There be monsters.
Great. Yeah, so I think I drive us to the hospital first and like
Yeah.
loot it for more angel kits.
Yeah, I mean, it would take, like, people have gathered all of the obvious shit from this place before,
Fair.
so you'd have to spend a good few hours, like, rummaging around if you wanted to get anything particularly. And Stein, this cold feeling in your chest is growing. Like, while this cab is perfectly warm and is quite balmy inside, to be honest, like, the surface of your skin, it's like you have the flu. Like, you're sweating in this cab, but you're cold.
Is there anything in the med kits that I picked up that could help either, like, sort of, like, contain this feeling, or at least make it go away a bit? Huh?
You can get shit-faced. And
Is that
you may
the only way out of this?
Basically, you could take enough drugs that you wouldn't notice. But this isn't physical pain and requires non-physical.
You could
things
try and
to deal
isolate it.
with.
Yeah, I mean, it like almost like painkiller method. It doesn't actually.
Yeah, I think you could basically
away.
just like neck Vicodin and like you may feel a bit better.
Could he
Yeah.
use augury to isolate the pain?
And it's
So
a
it
little.
doesn't spread further. If it's psychic force killing him, he can surely try.
It's
and
less
counteract
psychic
it.
force killing him, and it's more the same thing that's happening to Midnight. Of his soul is unspooling, bit by bit, and it's less as a psychic force killing him. It's more that he's just like bleeding out, and yeah.
Okay. Does my harm go up or?
Not yet, but like you, I think, do not want to dilly dally. There would
Okay.
definitely be an element of Stein not wanting to dilly dally.
Okay.
Have we this zone 1, is that outside before like the kind of swirling vortexy
No,
thing?
this is within the storm. Like it's
The
the storm is like whirling all around you.
Also, I presume you've dismissed the protection, by the way. Now we're out the building.
Oh, yeah, so that kind of
Have I?
temporary
Okay.
one.
I don't, unless you've wanted to keep it going.
Well, we
Like,
can't
I
because it doesn't persist for a while.
Yeah, it's only as is actively maintaining it. I think it kind of falls as he moved the knife, all that force into the knife. That's very much this. Yeah, so I think you're at this hospital and kind of moving in, maybe getting some supplies and stuff, just a few basic things. Like maybe Stein goes, something breaks in the car, and he's like, "Oh right, shit," pops out, hooks it back up. And yeah, the
Do we generally feel, all the psychic people of us, do we generally feel alright, though?
yeah, until you all suddenly feel the cold for the first time. Since
Even
being
me?
here. Yeah, again, it doesn't feel like it's external, it feels internal, and yeah, I think all of you everyone just looks in the same direction. And imagine as if the storm was like like there was a thing there that had to move around, like, and it's like a person-shaped figure, but there is nothing there. It's just snow moving around this hole in space.
I think
And then,
we'll
like-
yell out, like,
Yeah.
yo, you wanted us to bring you Tudor, right? Well, Tudor's coming!
Yeah, two like thin blue lines kind of split through the center of like where their head almost would be, and flare up, kind of in the position of almost of eyes. It's like this voice kind of floats out like a 1,000 kind of like it feels like sleet hitting you with this voices, and you come bearing arms to our doorstep, Tudor. You delay and you dilly-dally and you carry with you a weapon. Something we have not seen before. Something we
Well-
sensed but could not find.
I'm sorry it took a delay to deal with the person that was coming to attack you. I assumed you wouldn't want to have dealt with that yourself. And then we took a minor detour, because this journey may have killed me. And while I was there, I found more power.
Why do you bring weapons to our door, Tudor?
Because there's such things called animals. That, wolves. We've been attacked by them earlier. And we're adventurers. We ain't got anywhere without arms. This world is a dangerous place. Or have you not noticed that?
Definitely give me a manipulate. But either use your hot or act under fire to use your weird against this guy. Like, using your psychic powers against this thing is a challenge. It's like trying to push two like north poles of a magnet together. It does not want to be used in that way.
So to act under fire, I have to do a cool roll to then use my word.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just a case of like, can you physically hold yourself together enough to bring your power to bear?
Okay, I'm gonna try and act under fire then. On
Okay.
my incredible roll of 0 here, folks,
Why not just roll with the heart?
because that's -1.
Okay, that makes sense.
I got an 8.
Okay. So that means that you succeed, but there is a cost to it.
Oh joy.
Da, 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 da. I get to make a move of some description. Yeah. Sometimes you flinch, hesitate, or stall. This can offer you a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice. Yeah, the figure reaches out a hand. It's like, give us that knife. Give us the blade, shooter. Prove your loyalty. Prove your worth.
I could say the same thing about you.
We
All
made
you've
you
done
what-
is sacrifice a childhood friend. Sure, you gave me power, but you clearly needed that power for your own purpose.
Yeah, the kind of like outstretched hand closes and goes, very well. We will await you. Come at us if you believed yourself to be a greater conqueror. And then the kind of figure collapses and the snow starts falling normally.
Wow, that was otherworldly.
Yeah. I guess we'll take a quick break there because I've been reliably told it's about time. So we'll get back to you in a couple of minutes. Ta-ra for now. Yep.